What's up, Trek Nation, and welcome back to After the Snap. I'm Tasha Pierce, and today I'm going to share my thoughts on Season 1 of Lower Decks. All right, in the first season of Star Trek Lower Decks, we are actually getting an opportunity to see exactly how a Starfleet vessel runs like two different ships, the bridge and the lower decks. And one of the things I really appreciated most about season 1 of Star Trek Lower Decks, besides the fact that it's animated and you can get away with a whole lot more, a lot of times we were wondering how the hell is Mariner a Starfleet officer? And if they would have revealed what we found out towards the end of the season too early, it would have made it not quite as exciting for me. Now, right from the beginning, well, maybe episode 2, we as the audience know something that the crew doesn't. We found out at the end of episode 2 that Beckett, Mariner, and Captain Freeman are mother and daughter, which is something that was kind of kept quiet all the way to the end of the season. And as we moved on through the season, we became more familiar, more connected to the crew of the lower decks. And we understand that the bridge crew is stuffy and serious, as bridge crews usually are. And then we saw that the lower decks is really just a bunch of young ensigns trying to feel their way through life on a Starfleet vessel. Now, that disconnect between the lower decks and the bridge was made most evident in the episode called Veritas, when we saw the lower deck characters being grilled by an alien species or an alien life form, and he wanted them to explain a mission. Captain Freeman made a promise to the lower decks crew that she would include them more so that they would know what was going on the ship at all times. It would be one ship, one crew. And the fact that she said that, and then the very next episode we go into Mariner doing her Mariner thing where she made the movie. So this was an episode that would have had really not an awful lot to add to the series, except we got this brilliant ending of Mariner finding out by fighting herself exactly what her issues are with her mother. And she found out that her issues were not with her mother, but with herself. That was brilliant. It was a brilliant piece of holodeck entertainment, and we got to see a more cinematic view because, of course, they were making a movie, so we got a more cinematic feel out of that episode. And those last two episodes really set the stage for what was going on in the season finale, which I gotta say, Star Trek Lower Decks, y'all stuck the landing. Yes, there were ups and downs in the season. There were episodes that I didn't like. I didn't particularly like the Veritas episode that I just talked about because I felt like this episode is a throwaway, that there was absolutely no way to tie it in because they were just lying the whole damn time. None of this stuff happened. But the part that made it important, the part that tied it in, was when Captain Freeman made that pledge that she would keep them up to date, keep them apprised of what was going on the ship. That actually played into the next two episodes, where we got to see Boimler and Mariner taking turns on the bridge. These are things that we didn't necessarily get to see before them. We saw Captain Freeman sticking to her word, and it made the biggest difference in this final episode. They stuck the landing. Absolutely, positively. This was a Trektastic episode, and I think it had something for everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. We can take it all the way back to the original series. There was something for everybody. This final episode, no small parts, just showed, it emphasized why these people were chosen to be Starfleet officers. There were literally no small parts. Everybody brought something to the table. We got to see how this thing ran together like a well-oiled machine. And we also got to see some of our favorite throwaway alien life forms from other Trek series absolutely phenomenal. Using the Pakleds as the big bad in this final episode, who would have expected it? Who would have thunk it? It was absolutely genius, if you ask me. It was just a set of aliens that we've not seen since the Next Generation. And we saw that they continued with their old tricks. We had losses, very dark losses in this episode. The Pakleds actually destroyed an entire Starfleet vessel that was a brand new vessel, and that crew, the entire crew, was lost. We also found out that our crew of the Cerritos was not immune to loss. The heroic nature and the way that these losses occurred on the Cerritos was just absolutely, it could have been in a live action Star Trek. When we saw Shaxs make the ultimate sacrifice, it almost gave me Worf feels. And of course, I think that's what they were going for the entire season. We got to see Badgie again. And that lets me know that Badgie is going to be a recurring character. He is going to be a recurring foil for Rutherford. And I enjoyed that. Now, the fact that Rutherford had his implant snatched out in order to save his life by Shaxs, beautiful, beautiful. They can give it the chef's kiss. It was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant animation and brilliant script writing. Brilliant. And then we got another October surprise. So we got the October surprise. Much like we saw in Star Trek Picard, when it looked like the Cerritos was on the ropes and was about to be destroyed, all of these Pakled vessels were surrounding it. Who shows up in the USS Titan but Will Riker and Deanna Troi? And he comes in with his one-liner and he saves the day just like he did in Picard. And you have to wonder if that was planned. But even if it wasn't planned, it was absolutely, this right here was the way you end a season. We got everything. You got nostalgia. You got new things happening. We found out that Beckett and her mother come together. We see Boimler get transferred off of Cerritos onto the Titan. We saw Riker and Troi, and it lets us know that we'll see probably more of them since that's where Boimler landed at the end of this episode. We saw Mariner and her mother again make the pact to kind of connect and use one another. Her mother would follow the rules as a captain of the ship, and she could use Beckett Mariner as a person to carry out some of the duties that you can't because you're hamstrung by the prime directive as a captain. But if you have a lower decks officer who was kind of a loose cannon, they made a deal that they would work together. She would do the kind of loose cannon type things while her mother continued to uphold the ideals of Starfleet. And honestly, there is precedence for this, because that is more or less what we had with Kirk and Spock. Spock was there to keep things on the straight and narrow. He was the one who would always quote the directives. Kirk was the one, he would like to flex a little bit. See how much flexibility there is in the prime directive, or in, and I forgot what they used to call it in TOS. But yeah, so we've gotten them as a kind of coalition where mom is going to be the straight-laced officer, and she is going to play to her daughter's strength to create order out of chaos. Because she actually did a very good job of creating order out of chaos in this episode. I cannot wait to see what we are getting in season 2. I would not be surprised if we saw Shaxs again, even though he ended this season as paying the ultimate price for the Cerritos. He paid the ultimate price. We never saw his body. We didn't see his body. So, you know, the no body, no crime. So I cannot wait to see how they might bring him back. What would he be? Would he be any different when he comes back? We shall see. The Pakleds, I hope we have not seen the last of them. I honestly hope that they become a regular foil to the Cerritos. Not every week, but we see them here and there. The what's it? The Exocomp that is now floating in space yelling help. They did an outstanding job of showing that now that she can speak and now that she can talk, she could tell the Starfleet exactly what the hell she's not going to do. They were like, you can go on this ship and you can plant this virus. And she said, oh, hell no, not me. See, in TNG, it took Data to speak to them. But now that she is sentient enough to speak for herself, it was wonderful to hear her say, oh, no, I don't have no plans on giving my life for Starfleet. Peace. So, yeah, like I was saying, it was beautiful seeing the Titan. Even in animation, it still was beautiful the way it came in, the way the ships dropped out of warp right into the battle that they were coming to. The Cerritos did it, and the Titan did it. Absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait for season 2. There is a lot that can be gone into. There is a lot more that can be exposed. A lot more of developing of these characters. We can see so much in an animated show that wouldn't be possible in a live action show. I mean, it's possible, but and anything is possible, but but yes, I thoroughly enjoyed season 1 of Lower Decks. Again, like the first season of most Trek series. Ups, there were downs. You're gonna have butthurt Trekkies who never liked the first episode of anything, and then they fall in line. Once you realize what this show is, which is a comedy first, animation second, it is adult third, it is not for children, and fourth, it is Trek. They found a way to marry all those elements together, and I think they did an awesome job. If I have to go, how many lights do I see? I see 4 lights. Well, I actually see 3.5 lights. I see 3.5 lights for the entire season 1 of Lower Decks. I really enjoyed it. We also got other Trek news about another animated series that is aimed for the kids. See, this one is an adult show. Keep your kids out. Let them watch Prodigy, where we will also get to see Captain Janeway make her return to the Star Trek universe, and I am so excited to hear that, because with all of this nostalgia and all of these captains making their returns and all of these characters crossing over into these new universes, I am 100% sure that we're going to see all of the characters that we love from across our Star Trek universe. So let me know your thoughts. What did you think of season 1 of Star Trek Lower Decks? How excited are you for season 2, which we will follow when we find out exactly when things are starting to roll for season 2. We will stay on top of that here. And Prodigy, let me know what you think about the return of Captain Janeway to Prodigy. And last but not least, let me know how excited you are for next week, Thursday. You know what it is. Star Trek Discovery Season 3. While you're here, hang out with me week by week. I put out videos, at least 2 a week. Smash the subscribe button. I need subscribers. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.